Good morning. So, as in the last class, we have seen the different the TDMA. As we are going through the multiple access techniques, and previously we have gone through FDMA, and in last class we have gone through time division multiple access. Okay, so here we have seen the time frame or the frame of one TDM system, one TDMA frame, where it consists of preamble, the information bits, and the trail bits. So based upon the number of information bits and the overhead bits, overhead bits are the bits which are not intended for the information. Okay, so as this is for guard bits, sync bits, and control bits. So based upon these bits, we are calculating the efficiency of TDMA. So these are the theoretical part which all of you can go through. So this is the TDMA efficiency. Okay. So in the last class, we are going through this TDMA efficiency, where it is defined as 1 minus BOH by BT into 100. Okay, so where BOH is the number of overhead bits, number of overhead bits per frame, and BT is just let me put it into representation mode. Okay, so here we have frame efficiency, where BOH is the number of overhead bits per frame, BT is the total number of bits per frame. So total number of bits per frame will be BTs, and BT will be nothing but TF into R, where TF is what? TF is the frame duration, as there will be a frame duration, and in that duration, what is the bit rate? Okay, so what is the channel bit rate? So that the total number of bits per frame will be equal to TF, that is the frame duration, and the product of frame duration and the channel bit rate. Okay, so it can be defined as this. Now we can see that there the number of overhead bits. So number of overhead bits में बहुत सारी चीजें आएंगी, like NR into BR. So there will be some reference burst per frame. There will be reference bits per reference burst. NT is the number of traffic burst per frame. BP is the overhead bits per preamble on each slot, and BG is the equivalent bits in each guard time interval. Okay, so BG is the equivalent bits in each guard time interval. So BOH is nothing but the overhead bits, whichever can be used for some control bits or some coding bits will be there. So as we have seen in the last numerical, I think, yes. So there may be some guard bits also, as in this example, we have seen that there are guard bits are not present here over here. So yes, again, we will see one numerical regarding that. Okay, so now, yes, so as we have seen this formula, we can go through a small numerical. So let us go through a numerical. Okay, just wait for a minute. efficiency of TDMA. Okay, so here there is a question. So what is the question? So in GSM, okay, if GSM uses a frame structure where each frame consists of 8 time slots. Okay, so okay, just wait for a minute. So the question is that system is GSM system with a frame structure where each frame consists of of 8 time slots. Okay, one frame has 8 time slots, and each time slot contains 156.25 bits. Okay, and data is transmitted at a rate of, so data transmission rate is given as 270.833 kbps. Okay, in the channel. Okay, now what we have to find the first part is, okay, let me change the color. The first part which we have to find out is the time duration of a bit. Time duration of a bit. The B part is the time duration of a slot. Time duration of a slot. Okay. Next, the C part is the time duration of a frame. Time duration of a frame. And D part is how long must a user occupying a single time slot, how long must a user occupying a single time slot wait, okay, between two successive transmissions. Okay, so I think all of you can understood that question, that there is a GSM system and in that GSM system, each frame consists of 8 time slots. Okay, एक frame में 8 time slots हैं, and each time slot contains 156.25 bits. So in one time slot there are 156.25 bits, and data transmission rate is 270.833 kbps. So data transmission rate is also given. So as the data transmission rate is given, so kilobits per second is given. So I think from here we can find out the very first one, that is the time duration of a bit, because the transmission rate is 270 kbps. Okay. So it is 270 kbps. So in that sense, we can find out the very first part. Okay, let me change the color. So the A part can be found out by using this data, as the transmission rate is given. So transmission rate is 270 kilobits per second. Okay, so इतने number of bits एक second में transmit हो रहे हैं, तो एक bit का हम duration निकाल सकते हैं. So the time duration of a bit, time duration of a bit. So एक bit का time duration क्या होगा, क्योंकि transmission rate दिया हुआ है इतना bits per second, so we can find out the bit duration. Okay, so bit duration can be represented with TB, is given by 1 by transmission rate. So transmission rate is nothing but 270.833 kbps. Okay, so kilobits है, so इसे हम convert करेंगे, and so it will be approximately 3.692 microsecond. Okay, so this is the bit duration. The next part, that is the B part, we have to find out the time duration of a slot. So as you can see here, that each time slot contains 156 bits. Okay, so as you can see that एक time slot में इतने number of bits हैं, और एक bit का जो duration है वो इतना है, तो एक slot का duration हम लोग आसानी से निकाल सकते हैं. So the time slot time duration of a slot, that is T slot. Okay, so T slot can be the time duration of one bit, that is 3.692 into total number of bits in one time slot. So total number of one bits is 156.25. Okay, so itna microsecond and itna bits, so we will have it will be approximately 0.577 millisecond. Okay, so the time slot, okay, T slot can be obtained by using the data which is given over here, that time slot, एक time slot में इतने सारे bits हैं, और एक bit में जो duration लग रहा है वो 3.6, that is TB time duration लग रहा है एक bit में. So we will have the time slot duration will be this, and the next part is the time duration of a frame. So now how we can find out, as we can see here that एक frame में 8 slots हैं. Okay, एक frame में 8 time slots हैं, और एक time slot का जो duration है वो ये इतना है. So we will have the frame time, that is TF. एक frame का जो timing होगा वो कितना होगा, 8 हमारे पास time slots हैं एक frame में, और एक time slot का जो period है वो T slot है. So it will be 8 into 0.577. Okay, so it will be approximately 4.615 millisecond. Okay, and next we have to find out. So एक frame का जो timing है वो ये लग रहा है 4.615. So the next part is, how long must a user occupying a single time slot wait between two successive transmissions. So हम क्या देख रहे हैं, क्योंकि एक फ्रेम के अंदर जितने भी यूजर्स होंगे उनके लिए अलग अलग स्लॉट होगा. अब मान लें कि एक कोई टाइम स्लॉट है एक पर्टिकुलर यूजर के लिए, अब इसके बाद जो नेक्स्ट फ्रेम आएगा उस नेक्स्ट फ्रेम में जो वो स्लॉट आएगा वो कितनी देर के बाद आएगा। तो एक फ्रेम का जो टाइम पीरियड है, एक फ्रेम का जो टाइम पीरियड है दैट इज इक्वल टू 4.615। तो इस फ्रेम में किसी एक पर्टिकुलर यूजर का जो टाइम होगा, नेक्स्ट फ्रेम में उतने ही समय के बाद हमें उसका चांस आएगा। ओके, सो देयर विल बी द टाइम स्लॉट वेट। टाइम स्लॉट वेट कितना होगा? टाइम स्लॉट वेट एक यूजर के लिए जो कि पहले फ्रेम में आया था, दूसरे फ्रेम में आने के लिए कितने समय के लिए उसे वेट करना पड़ेगा। सो दैट विल बी इक्वल टू द डी पार्ट। सो वेट टाइम, जो वेटिंग टाइम होगा एक पर्टिकुलर यूजर सिंगल स्लॉट के लिए, यूजर के लिए, वो क्या होगा? दैट विल बी इक्वल टू द फ्रेम टाइम, दैट इज 4.615 मिली सेकेंड। मतलब इतने मिली सेकेंड का उसे वेट करना पड़ेगा। ओके, so this is all about this problem. We will see one more problem. Okay, so let me go through that. Okay, so let us see another problem. So the question is, again there is a normal GSM time slot. Okay, we have normal GSM time slot, जिस जहां पर कि क्या है, contains or consists of 6 trail bits, 6 trailing bits. Okay, 8.25 guard bits. Okay, next 26 training bits. Okay, and 2 traffic bursts. 2 traffic bursts of 58 bits of data. Okay, so 2 डेटा बर्स्ट हैं जिसमें कि एक डेटा कंसिस्ट हो रहा है 158 बिट्स ऑफ डेटा का. सो व्हाट वी हैव टू फाइंड आउट, we have to find, okay, let me change the color. So we have to find, what we have to find, the frame efficiency. Find the frame efficiency. So efficiency is dependent upon the data bits and the overhead bits. So overhead bits, so data bits, we have 2 bursts of 58 bits of data. So the data which is regarding message is 58 into 2, that is 116 data bits, and 6 trailing bits, 8.25 guard bits, and 26 training bits. So these bits are for the overhead bits, because these do not contain any information. They are just for the communication purpose. Okay, so that the communication will be good. So how we can go through. So here एक जो टाइम स्लॉट है उस पर्टिकुलर टाइम स्लॉट में, क्योंकि जीएसएम टाइम स्लॉट है, GSM टाइम स्लॉट है, तो देयर विल बी 8 टाइम स्लॉट्स विद इन अ फ्रेम. ओके, ये डिफाइंड है in GSM time slot. There will be 8 time slots will be there. So we can calculate the overhead bits and the total number of bits. Okay, so एक जो स्लॉट है, एक स्लॉट में ये कंटेंट है, एक स्लॉट में 6 ट्रेल बिट्स हैं, 8.25 गार्ड बिट्स हैं, 26 ट्रेनिंग बिट्स है, और 58 बिट्स हैं डेटा के. ओके, सो number of bits in each slot, वो कितना हो जाएगा? वो सभी को मिलाएंगे हम 6 ट्रेल बिट्स प्लस 8.25 guard bits plus 26 trailing bits plus 2 traffic bursts of 58 bits of data. So 2 into 58. Okay, so we have this much of data. So ये कितना हो गया? 8 6 14 14 और 6 20 40. So 40.25 plus 40 हुआ ना, 26 और okay. So plus 116, 58 so here we have 156.25 bits. Okay, so in one time slot, this is the size of one time slot. एक time slots में इतने bits हैं. Now ये हम बात कर रहे हैं normal GSM time frame की. So normal GSM time frame में एक frame में there will be 8 slots. So as in GSM, 8 slots are in a frame. Okay, so 8 slots हैं. So we will have total bits कितने हो जाएंगे? Total bits will be equal to 8 into 156.25, which is equal to 1250 bits per frame. ऐसा क्यों? क्योंकि 8 slots को मिलाकर एक frame बनता है, and in one frame we will have, in one slot we will have 156.25 bits. So the total number of bits will be this. Now, so this is the total number of bits. So these total number of bits will consist of overhead bits plus data bits. Okay, इसमें ये दोनों जो डेटा दोनों बिट्स इसमें एडेड हैं. Now we have to find out the total number of overhead bits. So overhead bits कितने होंगे? वो होंगे, क्योंकि हमारे पास एक टाइम स्लॉट में कितने ओवर बिट्स हैं? 6 प्लस 8.25 प्लस 26, ये हो गया एक स्लॉट का ओवरहेड बिट्स, और इसे हम जब 8 से मल्टीप्लाई करेंगे तो ये हमारा निकल जाएगा टोटल नंबर ऑफ ओवरहेड बिट्स, एंड दिस विल बी इक्वल टू 322 bits. Okay, you will calculate, it will become this only. So 322 bits in total one frame. So इतना bits per frame. ये overhead bits हो गए. So now efficiency is what? Efficiency of a frame is nothing but 1 minus B overhead by B total bits, okay, into 100. So we will have 1 minus 322 by total number of bits is 1250 bits per frame. So here we will have 100%, it will be 74.24%. okay, so in this way it is the value or the efficiency of this GSM system. Okay, so now we will proceed further for our next topic. So here we have done our TDM and FDMA. Okay, so we are moving further. Spread spectrum multiple access. Okay, so what is meant by this spread spectrum multiple access? So in this case, as we can see that it uses signals with transmission bandwidth several orders of magnitude greater than the minimum required RF bandwidth. Okay, so this spread spectrum multiple access will have the transmission bandwidth that is several orders of the magnitude greater than the minimum required RF bandwidth. So here in this case, इस case में होता क्या है actually spread spectrum. So why this is known as spread spectrum? Spread spectrum इसीलिए बोला जा रहा है क्योंकि जो भी एक particular, okay, sorry. So okay, just wait for a minute. Yes. So spread spectrum क्यों? क्योंकि अगर if this is the spectrum of any system, so this spectrum will got spreaded. So how it will be spreaded? It will be spreaded by the multiplication of the data with the some pseudo random noise, or also known as chip. Okay, so some collection of bits is known as chip, and that chip is intended for, or is added with the different users. Okay, so that they will get some differentiation. Okay, so there will be a pseudo random noise sequence which converts a narrow band signal to a wide band. So here the transmission bandwidth is several orders of magnitude greater than the minimum required RF bandwidth. So जो भी original bandwidth है उसे हम enlarge कर देते हैं by using some pseudo random noise or pseudo random bit sequence. Okay, so this converts some narrow band signal to a wide band noise like signal before the transmission. Okay, so here what this provides, this provides immunity to multipath interference and robust multiple access capability, because in multiple access capability, as we know that in communication, but for the purpose of communication, we need multiple access because there are number of users which are available over there. So and this spread spectrum uses this multiple access capability in a good manner. Here it is a bandwidth efficient in multi-user environment. Obviously, we need multi-user environment because due to the presence of enormous number of users. Okay. Now this spread spectrum multiple technique is of two types: frequency hop multiple access and direct sequence spread spectrum, or direct sequence multiple access, also known as the code division multiple access. Okay, so firstly we will go through frequency hop multiple access. Okay, so FHMA, frequency hopped multiple access. So sorry, so here it is a multiple access technique where it is a digital multiple access system in which the carrier frequencies, here in this case the carrier frequencies of individual users are varied. Individual users are varied. Varied by what? Varied by the pseudo random values, or the it can be varied in a pseudo random fashion within a wideband channel. Okay, so here carrier frequencies of individual users are varied in a pseudo random fashion with a wideband channel. And what this FHMA, that is frequency of multiple access, allows multiple users. So in this case, multiple users to simultaneously occupy the same spectrum at the same time. Okay, जहाँ पर कि क्या होता है, हर एक यूजर जो है उसे एक स्पेसिफिक नैरो बैंड चैनल मिलता है कम्युनिकेशन को प्रोसीड करने के लिए, हर एक इंस्टेंट ऑफ टाइम के लिए. ठीक है, सो हियर द डेटा ऑफ ईच यूजर इज ब्रोकन इनटू okay, so is broken into uniform size bursts that are transmitted on different channels at different time instants based on their pseudo noise code sequence. So for uh, uh, each uniform size burst, so अब ये जो bursts हैं, ये burst कहाँ से आ रहे हैं? From different users, their data will be there, and these are got multiplied with the some data sequence, or which is, sorry, some pseudo random noise or pseudo code sequence. Okay, so they are got differentiated by using these codes. So in this FH receiver, that is frequency hopping receiver, a locally generated PN codes is used to synchronize the receiver's instantaneous frequency with that of the transmitter. Okay, so as I think all of you know that you have studied the coherent receiver. Okay, so coherent modulation technique. Coherent modulation में क्या था? That same जो carrier जो कि receiver side में जो carrier इस्तेमाल होता है, उसी same carrier को हम transmitter side में भी इस्तेमाल करते हैं, so that the intended message will get demodulated. Okay, so and these two carriers are सिंक्रोनाइज्ड विथ ईच अदर, क्योंकि सेम ही कैरियर इस्तेमाल कर रहे हैं. सो इसका एक लिमिटेशन भी है कि सेम एकदम कैरियर जनरेट करना ये थोड़ी सी मुश्किल होती है. सो दिस इज आल्सो अ लिमिटेशन, बट it was the coherent modulation demodulation technique was there. In the same way here also, the code what is generated over the transmitter side, that code is also known by the receiver side. Okay, so so that the same code or same pseudo noise code sequence is get multiplied with the incoming signal, and it will get demodulated to get the intended message. Okay, so next point is, at any given point of time, FH signal only occupies a single relatively narrow channel, since narrow band FM or FSK is used. Okay, so what is the difference now? What is the difference between this frequency hopping multiple access and simple FDMA? Okay, so what is the basic difference between these two? So difference क्या है वो? That difference is that the frequency hopped signal, changes channels at a rapid interval. So इस केस में क्या है, जो channel है वो rapid interval के साथ change होता है. Now, if the rate of change of carrier frequency is greater than the symbol, so whatever is the rate, based upon that rate of change of the channel, it is divided into slow frequency hopping and fast frequency hopping. Okay, so but here in this case, frequency fast frequency hopping system is adopted. Okay, so here okay, so we have already seen that non-conditional. Okay, so let us move to the next slide. Okay, so FHMA changes channels at rapid intervals, and we have already seen that. So based upon the change of the channels, it is divided into fast frequency hopping system and slow frequency hopping system. So in fast frequency hopping system, the rate of change of carrier frequency is greater than the symbol rate, and in slow frequency hopping system, the rate of change of carrier frequency is less than or equal to the symbol rate. Now FHMA provides inherent security. So FHMA का एक ये demerit है, sorry, एक merit क्या है कि it an inherent security is there, and guard against ensures through error control coding and interleaving. Okay, and it is basically used in Bluetooth and home RF for power efficiency and low cost implementation. Okay, so this type of system is used in this case. Now, next we have to see, okay, so here you can see that some frequency band are there, frequency band 1, frequency band 2, and frequency band 3 is there, and there are different time slots. So the available bandwidth is available over here. There are 3 users, user 1, user 2, and user 3. So here what we can see that for the first frequency band, user 1 is in time slot 1, and the user 1 is in time slot 2 for the frequency band 2. So in different time slots, what we are getting that the users are using different time slots at different frequencies. So how they are given different frequencies? So different frequencies are given through the different pseudo-random codes. Okay, so yes, you can see, you can observe user 2 also. In the first time slot, it is using frequency band 2. In the second time slot, it is using frequency band 1, and in third time slot it is using frequency band 3. Okay, so in this way different users can accommodate with different frequency band with different pseudo random codes. Okay, so here we can see that there is digital signal frequency hopping pattern. So in this case, the frequency will get enhanced. As you can see that in the first picture here, the band is this much, and here the frequency band has been enhanced with some extent. So a spreading signal will be there, and at the receiver side there is a despread frequency hopping pattern. Despreading will be there by using the same pseudo random code which is generated over here is also available here. So again that same signal will be obtained. Okay, now the next topic is CDMA. So CDMA is what? It is code division multiple access, and this code division multiple access is also known for the direct sequence multiple access system. Okay, so again in this case, the narrowband message signal is multiplied by a very large bandwidth signal called spreading signal. Here also we will use the same type, approximately same type of thing. So narrowband signal is multiplied by a very large bandwidth signal, and the spreading signal has a pseudo noise code sequence that has a chip rate which is of the order of magnitudes greater than the data rates of the message. Okay, next, all the users use same carrier frequency and can transmit simultaneously, and each user has its own pseudo random code word that is orthogonal to the others. As one pseudo random code is orthogonal to the other, so the different users can be differentiated easily. So here in this case, the spreading signal is a pseudo random noise which is a sequence of chip rate, that is okay. So in this case all the users in CDMA system use the same carrier frequency as it is already we have seen, and so these can may transmit or receive the signals simultaneously. The receiver performs a time correlation operation to detect only the specific desired code word. Okay, so the receiver needs to know the code word of the corresponding sender. All the other code words appear as noise. So iske alawa chunki there are different type of signals, so एक जो कोड वर्ड किसी एक पर्टिकुलर यूजर के लिए है वो दूसरे यूजर के लिए वो क्या होगा एज अ नॉइज क्रिएट होगा ड्यू टू दी डीकोरिलेशन, क्योंकि हर जो भी कोड्स जनरेट हो रहे हैं, ऑल दीज कोड्स आर intended for different users. So one code which is useful for one user is not useful for another user, and it is just appears as noise for those for them. Okay, so for detect, so okay, so अभी क्या करना होगा, इसी डिटेक्शन करने के लिए इस मैसेज सिग्नल को, उसी कोड वर्ड को जानना जरूरी होगा जो कि ट्रांसमीटर ट्रांसमिट किया. ओके, और इस तरीके से वी कैन इजिली नो द नॉलेज ऑफ द यूजर. So this is CDMA. Now power control is used to combat the near far problem. So near far problem है क्या? So यहाँ पर आप देख सकते हैं that when many mobile users share the same channel, the strongest received mobile signal will capture the demodulator at the base station. Thus, a nearby subscriber could overpower the base station receiver by drowning out the signals of far away subscribers. Okay, so this is the near far problem which is arises in CDMA. Sorry. So in this way we can see or move next that, okay, space division multiple access. So we will go through this in the next lecture. Okay, so यहाँ पर we can see the features of CDMA, some features of CDMA as users of CDMA systems share the same frequency, as we have already seen that same type of frequency use करते हैं. जैसा कि we have seen in TDMA और FDMA में हमने देखा, CDMA increases the number of users in the system, and it can raises the noise floor in the non-linear manner. Okay, so there is no absolute limit on the number of users in CDMA. Okay, so जैसा कि हमने last concept में देखा in TDMA that there will be a number of users which can be accommodated, but here this is not the case. So आज के लिए इतना ही रखते हैं. In the next class we will meet again for the next topic. Thank you.